And it's not going to be a big project, but let's see. It's not down that way. I don't think I can get there this way. Wait. Let's head the other way. Boy, I got this side all blocked off too. Let's see. Knives there. Let's see here. Not that one, but that one's for another project. But it's that one right there. Let me grab that and take that back to the work. All right, I got it. Let's see. I gotta squeeze back through here. And we'll squeeze back through the magic curtain. And we're back. All right, here's the piece I was talking about. The only thing I could figure it's some kind of a counter for a hay baler. There it is there. Get that shadow out of here. But it looks kind of like a clock. So I was going to decorate it to be an industrial style steampunk clock. Has some kind of a counter here that would have flipped the numbers. I don't know if we can get that working or not. But let's start working on that. See what we can make it look like. I'll just finish disassembling my project. Take a couple bolts out and get ready to clean up the rusty steel. Doing the rusty steel is just a matter of soaking it in vinegar. And if you soak it for overnight, when you take it out and clean it up, the rust comes off real easy. The only thing about doing that is when you take it out of the vinegar, you've got to do something with it right away. It'll rust up again real quick. So I just take all the loose grit off and put it in a coat of vinegar, make sure it covers everything, and just let it sit there overnight. Come back the next day, wash it off, and you're ready to go. I'll just sand this up in the meantime while I'm waiting for that to de-rust. And one thing I found out when I was sanding is that a lot of the wood is very soft. So I'm going to try to add a hardener to harden the wood up, and we'll see how that works out. But in the meantime, I'll get it all sanded up, and we'll get ready to finish. All right, one of the things I found was that the wood is soft. There's some rotten spots, so I'm going to try something I have never tried before. It's a Minwax wood hardener. And I'm going to clean this up with acetone. Then I'm going to put a couple coats of this Minwax wood hardener on and see how that works out. One thing about it I noticed after I finished was it does change the color. So it's all right if you're going to paint it or if you're going to stain it, but if you want a natural color, it's going to get darker. You put the first coat on, then the second coat goes right on top of it before it dries, and you let it set for a couple hours, and the next day you can sand it, but it still maintains a little bit of a darker color than the initial sanded wood, so you have to beware. I'm going to stain it with a poly stain mix, so it doesn't matter too much. It comes out almost the same color. It did harden the wood. I don't know how much it would work if there was structural damage, but it hardened the wood enough that it won't keep deteriorating. It soaks into the pores the first coat, and then the second coat goes on top of it. I used about half a can of that Minwax, and it came out pretty good. I would use it again. I've got my box of metal parts I've got to get ready. I'm going to take it upstairs by the sink so I can wash them off. And I got some black gloss paint. We'll see if I can't get them cleaned up and paint it. So I'll take them off and see what it looks like. We'll see. Okay, I've washed these in vinegar. Now I'm going to wash them in warm water and see how they come out. They just have been sitting overnight, and if I get time, I'll paint them. I got to paint them right away. You don't want to leave them set after you let them sit in that vinegar. They'll be rusty right away. Some of these parts don't show. So after I clean these up, we'll just take it downstairs, and I'll give them a little sanding, wire brushing, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, that's that.
You're not washing the stuff from the basement in my sink.
I'm doing the dishes for you, hon. I'm going to make a couple short stubby legs for this counter to set on. So I'm just going to set my lathe up. I got a piece of wood laying around. It's really hard. I don't know what kind it is. But I'm just going to put it on the lathe and turn a set of legs. I'm just going to take a couple minutes. It won't take very long. I'll make 4 stubby little feet. And I'll rough cut it. And then I'll just finish it up a little bit. And we'll see what that looks like when I'm done. And then I'll mount them onto the bottom of the base. And that'll let it stand up a little bit so it's not setting on the flat surface, because there's a couple nuts sticking out the bottom. So this will get it off of those nuts. I'll mark the legs out with a pencil and just put some dowels to stick into the base. I'll just cut them off with a saw. Then I'll have 4 legs with 1/2-inch dowels sticking out the bottom of them. Then I'll just drill a 1/2-inch hole into my base, measure it out and drill that out, and just glue them and tap them in and leave that set. And we'll be all set to reassemble this. Now I'm just going to remount the box, setting back a little bit. It was setting forward, so I'm just going to remount it back a little bit, drill a couple holes. I'll mount the box on it. Then we'll reassemble it, and we'll see what it looks like. So this will be the final part of the video. We'll just reassemble all the gears, all the counters, put the pieces together, and we'll see if it works. And we'll see what it's going to look like in the end.